Scenes like these are becoming more common along the US-Mexico border. Long lines of Chinese nationals being questioned by US Border Patrol agents.
The people here, the police here, I think they are very kind, and that's the America in my head.
A growing number of Chinese migrants are crossing into the United States from Mexico without visas, taking irregular overland routes across Latin America. Over the course of 3 weeks, Reuters witnessed hundreds of Chinese nationals along an isolated border stretch in southeastern Texas. Reuters interviewed more than 24 of them. All of those interviewed said they got the idea to take the land route on social media and drew on influencers, private groups, and comments to plan their trips. We're blurring their faces and not naming them to protect their identity.
I go to Hong Kong from my home Hubei first, and then to Thailand from Hong Kong by plane, and then Turkey from Thailand by plane, and Ecuador, and up through the South America to America here.
The Chinese embassy in Washington said in an email that the government opposes illegal migration, which, quote, is an international issue that requires cooperation between countries. The economic aftershocks of China's COVID lockdowns, coupled with the difficulty of obtaining US visas, have led to a sharp increase in Chinese nationals presenting at the US-Mexico border. That's according to immigration experts, attorneys, and current and former US officials. Immigration attorney Xiaosheng Huang.
China had a very strict zero COVID-19 tolerance policy. So basically everything is shut down, home shut down, business is shut down, the whole country is shut down. The people cannot stay at home staring at the wall all the time. They have to make money to make ends meet. The mortgage has to be paid, and the food has to be on the table. So they have no opportunity over there.
Apprehensions of Chinese nationals at the US-Mexican border reached more than 6,500 in the 6 months since October 2022. That's according to US Customs and Border Protection data. While just a sliver of the hundreds of thousands of migrants arriving at the southwest border, Chinese people were the fastest growing demographic in those 6 months, CBP data show. Some of them had relied on social media for detailed instructions for the trip, including what shoes to wear and how to find and pay for a reliable local guide. One of the platforms is the short video app Douyin, the Chinese counterpart of TikTok.
I started talking about getting out of the country on the social media such as Douyin, the Chinese version of TikTok, and some other platforms, so they exchange the information how to get out of the country, how to go to Ecuador from Europe or Macau, Hong Kong.
Both TikTok and Douyin are owned by ByteDance. The company did not respond to Reuters' requests for comment on the role of their websites in encouraging the increase in irregular migration.
I'm a 150th anniversary professor and distinguished professor of history at Purdue University. Well, 3 adjustments have been made recently. One's the pitch clock, 15 seconds. A pitcher has 15 seconds to pitch, to get ready to pitch. If nobody's on base, if somebody's on base, they have 20 seconds to pitch. The second change is the size of the base. It's gone from 15 square inches to 18 square inches. And third, they've kind of outlawed the shift, which they could use against right-handed, left-handed batters. And so now you have to have 2 baseball players, 2 fielders on either side of second base. The hope is it speeds up the game, that creates more action. For example, if you've gone to any major league games prior to this season, you know they can be interminably long. You know a pitcher can stand and look at the batter and then step back off the mound. The batter can step away from the plate. And basically what you have are big pitchers getting ready, loading up to throw probably 100-mile-an-hour fastball or someplace in that vicinity. So to speed up the game, compared to basketball or football, which are much faster, the idea is, okay, we're going to speed up the game. We're going to make pitchers throw the ball earlier. The idea is to create more action, and particularly creating more hits. You know, the game has evolved into a home run hitting contest, and the idea is let's get back away from that. There's always been changes in the game. Okay, baseball is a sport that has evolved since the 1840s, since it was first played on a really competitive basis. So, but recently, in 1973, the designated hitter, where the pitcher doesn't hit, that you can put a hitter in for the pitcher. That was in the National League. Not until 2022 was it adopted in the American League. But that was a big significant change. Purists said, no, we can't do that. But you know, they don't realize in the early years, sometimes you threw underhanded. You threw the ball where the batter wanted to hit it. You know, sometimes 3 strikes were a strikeout, sometimes 4 strikes were a strikeout, 5 balls a walk. It's changed dramatically over the past 150 years. If you ever watch Sports Center, okay, and you watch the top 10 plays on Sports Center, what do they show? They really don't show home runs that much, because you know, home runs, all home runs, unless they're a Mickey Mantle home run or a Reggie Jackson home run, look somewhat alike. We play in small ballparks, a long ball, it's a home run. It's not really that dramatic. Far more dramatic is an inside the park home run, is a double that's close, is a stealing a base. You know, all of these things are fielding a ball with one hand. All of these are much more exciting to watch. So the whole principle, the whole idea is to create more action, to create more hits, more singles, more doubles, and to get away from this throwing 100-mile-an-hour fastball, either hit it for a home run or strike out. That's boring. That's just only 2 people are playing that game. The idea is to get everybody playing.